Treehouse Trade School, Resilient Community Development and Education. I'm going to start off with our culture. Culture is an important part of what we're doing, and there are many things that define that. That's how we speak, how we show up, and what we mean by treehouse and resilience and all of that. So let me start with treehouse, because that's the first word. Treehouse. Like a treehouse, our goal is to inspire and empower people to thrive in harmony with our planet. That's actually our mission too. So empower each other to thrive in harmony with God's creation. And now we don't want to scare anyone away by saying God. If you're not in alignment with that terminology, I get that, because I've been there too. I've come to a full circle in understanding what that means, and now I can speak about it comfortably. So if you're uncomfortable with it, don't be turned away. Just hang with us for a little while. All right, so trade school. When we think of trade, we're talking about any skill or mastery, not just the trades that you think of when you consider construction or mechanics or welding or things like that. Now, as a tradesman myself, I'm actually a third generation builder and teacher. Trades have always been in my family, both sides of my family, from farming to mechanics to construction and carpentry and all kinds of things. I grew up with it. It's in my blood. So that's where I started. But then I got into permaculture and sustainability after the home building trade crashed in 2008. So when we consider trades, we're looking at any skill or mastery to develop a resilient community. More in the next video. What do we mean by resilient? Resilient, by definition, is the ability to bounce back. Now, part of the motivation for me is every time there's a natural disaster or a situation that creates suffering, I want to go in and help people bounce back from that in a way where they say maybe they don't lose their house in the event of a fire or a hurricane or a tornado. So build back stronger than before. When people, there's a lot of suffering around if a grocery store or during a tornado, coronavirus, hurricane, flood, forest fire, we've seen all of those in elevated timing over the last decade. And grocery stores run out, gas stations shut down, everybody's dependent upon credit cards and their cell phone to be able to purchase, but then when those things shut down, you cannot access the basic necessities. So building resilience is about being able to provide a lot of your basic necessities at home. Even if you don't need it, you still have it. So we focus a lot on low maintenance food production, passive income, passive water harvesting, rainwater harvesting, which actually recharges the aquifer and creates cloud cover. It's all good. It's good for everything. So building resilience is also learning skills, diversifying your skill sets. And I'll talk more about this in the books and media section, but I'm author of 71 Solutions for Peace, Prosperity, and Harmony with Our Planet. And that book is all about how you can build resilience at home. We steer away from, we kind of use for marketing purposes the terms sustainability, self-sufficient, DIY, but really, let me break that down real quick. Sustainability, the ability to sustain oneself. It doesn't really say a whole lot about thriving. So, we don't want to sustain a decline, and we don't want to just sustain the state at which we are, which isn't ideal. We want to build resilience and elevate our potential, our health, our wellness, the planetary, ecological health and wellness, the economy, like all of that to go up, to improve and feel better. So self-sufficiency doesn't really make sense. The idea of becoming self-sufficient is selfish in a way. it doesn't make sense for any one person or one family to provide everything they need for themselves. Now, it does make sense, a little bit more sense, for a community of people working together to develop that sense of self-sufficiency as a community where everyone has a specialization. And that's where we're kind of going with Treehouse Trade School. DIY, I mean, we use that hashtag DIY with our marketing, sure, but we're really pushing the DIT, which is doing it together. And then what else? There's off-grid. That's another term that comes up. Off-grid. It's very difficult to be off-grid and have all the technology that you need to stay connected and powered, like energy-wise, have all your power. You can do that, but then we often have to go back to the grid in order to buy more things to be off-grid. So we're really not off-grid. You can, if you really wanted to be like self-sufficient, off-grid, and sustainable and DIY, and you would probably be living in a relatively primitive structure away from technology. You wouldn't be producing your own satellites and cell phones and things like that. So we're all about building resilient communities working together to create the ultimate resilience around the world.